Welcome back to Games Revealed. I'm James and also Brink, and I am finally back and ready to do some more videos. And today's video is going to be an exciting one on, is there a Steam Deck killer yet, or to be announced or soon to be birthed into this world? The Ayaneo Air is the Steam Deck killer, or is the ROG Ally going to be a Steam Deck killer? We hear all about this in the titles, in the news articles, everything that's going on in, the portable PC gaming world. I've been drug around and read all the articles, well, not all of them, but I've read a bunch of the articles, and it always comes down to they don't really have a real good reason. They just list out kind of what the devices are. And so I'm finally going to get to the bottom of this, and we're going to decide on if the Steam Deck is going to be killed off this year in today's video. So before we do that, make sure to like, subscribe, bash that bell with your crowbar. Let's dive into why these devices won't kill the deck off right away, but will be contenders for the crown. Well, I think only one will be a true contender for performance, for everything, and another one's going to be etched into its own little category and be prince of it, if you want to say, or duke in this dukedom, I guess. But the crown, the throne, over the whole portable PC world will be, I think, we already kind of know what that's going to be, but let's not spoil it, I guess, anymore. First up, I will have to say, the Iono Loki and some of the lesser devices of the Iono series looks like they're being canceled, so I'm not going to really put them into the realm of this discussion. Iono Loki Pro and Base are going to be the only things that are potentially coming out, but even with that, I feel like they've lost this race. With the Ayaneo 2 already working on a 7000 series and working Z1, and with that's I believe the Ayaneo 2S, and then also GBD Win Max 2 is going to be getting a refresh. We'll see if that company will survive all of this. I definitely think they're going to be the jester of the court potentially if they don't actually get something released, because they announced that it was going to be out, the Iono Loki that is, by the end of 2022, and here it is halfway through 2023, and they have yet to release anything. We're still getting updates, they're still working on it, which is good. Super late though, which was predicted. I mean, I expected that, and I think a lot of people that watch this channel and watch a lot of these other channels were kind of not too convinced by Iono's track record, let's say. So the first contender, the Ayaneo Air Plus. The reason I throw this in here instead of the Ayaneo 2S, and it's just something different. The Ayaneo 2S will be like the ROG Ally, and I think that they're going to be good contenders for the Steam Deck in the sense that they're going to have very similar performance and all that. But I honestly, Asus already looks like they've done a lot of research over the past years for the ROG Ally, and I do think that it's just going to be the top contender for the AMD Z1 chip, with the Z1 Extreme also being available. And so I'm not really going to put any other company in running, because we could make an 8-person free-for-all round off against each other, but that's not what this video is about. We'll do another video where we'll take into account a lot of other devices and decide, or help you decide, that is, on which one to pick. The Ayaneo Air Plus is a great contender for the portable crown. The Ayaneo Air already kind of took that from the Steam Deck in some ways, that it's pocketable. You could almost pocket that. The GBD Win 4 is also a great contender for this. I like the Ayaneo Air Plus, like the way it looks and how it feels, its ergonomics, because I already have an Ayaneo Air, and I will have to say, ergonomically, it looks more comfortable than a PS Vita clone. Albeit, I've heard good things about the GBD Win 4, and I'm not going to say it's bad. I'm just going to throw the Ayaneo Air Plus into this realm of the 3 devices that I think are going to kind of take some type of ownership of the thrones or dukedoms, or whatever you want to call it. So, with the Ayaneo Air Plus, a 6800U and a 46-watt battery is going to make it a king amongst small devices that fit in your pocket. Well, nearly fit in your pocket. Some people have big pockets, but you're able to play some games at pretty low TDP with this and get 2-3 hours of play. With one thing I read with Red Dead Redemption 2 going at about 30 to 40 frames, which that's not bad for 2 to 3 hours of play with that game. Once again, I didn't test it out. It's just what I've read on Engadget. I honestly think it will continue to take the portability throne along with, and it's going to have to kind of fight off with, and we'll have to maybe do like a whole battle royale for these different sections and categories maybe later this year, but they'll have to fight the GBD Win 4. Okay, so the true contender, the true device that's potentially going to dethrone this Steam Deck this year, the ROG Ally. I know I keep talking about it. I know a lot of other people keep talking about it. I think some people did not take it serious enough. Once I saw the architecture behind it, though, and Dave 2D, once I saw that, I was kind of convinced that this thing was serious device that could really do some damage to the Steam Deck's throne or its dominance. But I don't think it's going to dethrone it completely. But man, at that price point of $599 for the base or $699 for the Z1 Extreme, and that's the one I recommend, honestly. I think the other one, I looking at the performance metrics, the perceived performance metrics, until we actually get one in our hands, we won't know for sure. It's definitely looking like the Z1 Extreme is like the only way to go, unless you're looking for something that's $100 cheaper that can play games that the Steam Deck can already play and not like up that game a little bit. Because with the Z1 Extreme, the likelihood of you being able to play almost every new AAA title coming out, it's going to be essentially a AAA killer. It's going to be more so than the Steam Deck killer, where the Steam Deck struggles with new AAA games, partially because they're not optimized, but it's just the Steam Deck doesn't quite have enough oomph to it. It's barely getting by with some new AAA titles. That's not going to always be the case. I think there's going to be AAA games that come out that the deck will be just fine with, but it's not going to be able to get into the next year or two and be able to play new AAA titles. A lot of people aren't even expecting it to, and I don't think you necessarily should expect a portable gaming device like the Steam Deck to be able to play every title that comes out on the PC right now. It's not a true console. It's not like the Switch where, yeah, you expect the game to play pretty well when it comes out on the Switch because it is built for the Switch. Steam Deck's a little bit different, and there's never been a true gaming device that's been able to play every game portably, even when the AYANEOs first came out and all that. So we need to kind of stop putting that as the metric. But, well, I'm going to contradict myself, I guess, a little bit. The ROG Ally might be that. It could play every game, except for the super buggy ones, like The Last of Us is getting fixed more and more every day. We'll see, because there's also a pandemic of developers not quite finishing their games, and we can't really blame the hardware for what the software does, but I still think there's some limitations there, like Dead Space. The Steam Deck plays Dead Space pretty good, but I want smooth, like 40, 50 frames and not dipping into the 30s or 20s even. I want really smooth with pretty decent graphics. Like, graphics are also kind of nice. Like, that up the graphical fidelity is also kind of I think a key thing here too. So getting more performance also means you can up the fidelity and not have to settle for low. You don't have to be a low kind of person. You can be medium, maybe not high, but you can be at least medium and get some of that fidelity back with the ROG Ally. The price is looking good. The performance is about 1.5 to 2 times the performance. It's arguably going to probably be more around 1.5, depending on the game, of course. I mean, some games are just going to play better on Windows and are not fully optimized on the deck yet, and they could change very soon in the future where Valve does make that game more optimized. But the TDP is also where the Steam Deck will probably do just a little bit better, because the way Valve developed the APU is that they really focused on the APU's TDP, or like the watts consumed. They wanted to be a very fine-tuned device for portability. And we'll see with the ROG Ally. We'll see with everything. It sounds like, though, performance to battery life, everything's feeling very similar. So you might get a little bit better performance at a similar battery life as what you would do with the Steam Deck with the games. At the end of the day, unlike the AYANEO Air Plus, where it's proven that their software is not great, that's bundled with Windows, the ROG Ally's Armory software does look promising, and it looks like it should be good, but it still has Windows that you still boot in, and if it doesn't auto launch up and kind of feel like a console like the SteamOS, then I think they'll get some big notches. Now, let's say some miracle happens the ROG comes out and Windows, boots up, it almost instantly goes to that software. The software, you can pretty much do everything you want, launch apps, browse, easily install software from Steam, whatever. Then we might be really close to getting Steam Deck's crown from them, but we'll see. The software is the biggest deal. The true king of 2023 will probably remain the Steam Deck, as it has an amazing console-like experience for people coming over from the console areas or PC gamers that just want to play games in bed or on the go without having a lot of hassle. It has a pretty streamlined experience. Turn it on. Oh, I'm in the home page. Oh, that's the game I last played. Hit the A button, you go in, and you start playing the game. It's pretty simple, pretty easy. Windows, not so much, and it gets kind of annoying, honestly. Like with the AYANEO Air, it got kind of annoying to boot it up. So I definitely think Steam Deck has got that handled quite nicely, and Microsoft really needs to make a gaming mode. The Steam Deck also has great support. Asus is going to have decent support out the bat. I haven't had issues with my Asus products. I've had many, from motherboard, video cards. I've even had laptops and all that. I haven't had a lot of issues with Asus. They seem like they have decent enough support. Let me know in the comments below if I'm wrong on that. But it's the most important thing, I think, what comes to what truly makes a king among kings in a democratic world like, I guess the PC gaming world, or where you're going to put your money down with the popularity. It's the most important thing. And, money, the amount of devices sold, that kind of is the way we vote, right? I still think Steam Deck is going to continue to be the most popular option, as it is the most well-known option out there. People are going to continue to slap their money down and get the Steam Deck. I don't think that's going anywhere soon, but I do think some people that really do their research are going to find the ROG Ally, and they're probably going to find reviews and stuff like that, and I have a feeling that it's going to do fairly decent. I do think the ROG Ally, the more and more I see on it, the more I'm like, this thing is going to be killer. It really does look like the Steam Deck will keep the crown for most, if not the remainder of the year, but it's in danger of 2024. AYANEO is always coming out with new devices. GBD is always coming out with new devices. Asus, who knows? They might do refreshes every year. Who knows if there's even going to be a good enough APU in a year from now. We're on to the 7000 series. We'll see when the 8000 series launches. I think it's the end of next year, actually. And so we'll see. The true dethroner of the Steam Deck is, I think, if ROG Ally can continue to release, to promote, to market, do really well during the holiday season this year, and maybe even come out with a quick refresher next year, beginning of next year, if there's a new 8000 series, or this just does so well that they don't need to. Steam Deck is in trouble for 2024. I just think there's too much momentum for 2023, but 2024, there's a good chance ROG might take that crown, or some other device like AYANEO. I will say, I think there are two main contenders though. ROG Ally, Steam Deck. I think everyone else is going to be drastically lower on the sales and popularity. When it comes to the best device level, like performance, it's probably going to be close with the ROG Ally and the AYANEOs, maybe the Loki. But at the end of the day, popularity, it's the ROG Ally is going to be in Best Buys. It's going to have good support. It looks like a comfortable device. It looks like a good device. It's been spec'd out to be priced well. None of these other devices are going to be able to beat it, because Asus will have mass production on its side. It's going to be able to guarantee drastically more sales to be able to reduce that price down. So, price to performance, then we have popularity. Those are like the best metrics, I would say, to really view what the throne's all about. If we want to talk about the throne in this whole analogy, this whole thing that we're talking about. I like the concept of there's a device that's out there that's the best of them all, but in reality, this year, we're going to have a couple, and that is the best all-around, well-known, streamlined experience Steam Deck, but then you're going to have your dukedoms. You're going to have your portable or your most powerful seated thrones there with the AYANEO Air Plus or GBD Win 4 or the ROG Ally. And that's my final decision until we learn more in a couple of months or whenever the ROG Ally fully officially comes out. But this is fun stuff. This is fun stuff to talk about. Sorry if I talked your guys' heads off. I really like this. Let me know in the comments below what you think will happen this year. What is going to be the true king, the throne keeper of this year? Because 2023 is really exciting. There's a lot of good stuff coming out. Hardware-wise, game-wise, we need a more powerful device to keep up with these really buggy games. So bring on the ROG Ally. I don't think it's going to completely beat out the Steam Deck for me in my personal use, but it's going to probably be a 50-50 with what I'm seeing. So yeah, let me know in the comments below. I'm really curious what you guys think, and maybe we'll do a vote. Yeah, we'll do a vote. Let's do that. Let's also be democratic about this and do a vote on the YouTube channel. So keep an eye out for that. Also, check out all my other goodies in the description below. I have stuff with coffee, Bones Coffee. Really like their coffee. They have flavors that have bourbon, hints of bourbon. They have hints of cereal and other flavors that I just really like, and their packaging's fun. So go check that out if you're looking for a good cup of joe that has a hint of flavor. And with that, also check out the other goodies too, including merch and Discord. Go join us in the Discord where we talk about this kind of stuff. And thank you guys for watching. Check my other videos out, and I'll catch you guys next time. Peace out. Later.